Hi everybody, I'm Debbie Allison and this is Crazy Felix and you're watching Polymer Clay by Deb. Hi everybody, I'm Deb with Polymer Clay by Deb. Welcome back. Today I'm here with Crazy Felix and my Forest Fairy collection. Let me show them to you. I have two Forest Fairies here. I've done them in different colors. This is Faith and this is Mary, the Forest Fairy, and she is a freestanding figurine with the unicorn. And then this is Faith again with brunette hair. And then I have two freestanding unicorns along with two unicorns that I made that are designed as ornaments. And these may be personalized in the flower, so they were designed to be personalized. And today's tutorial is going to be on this unicorn because somebody requested that I do a unicorn. And so this is for you, all right? So Felix is back. Okay, so let me show you what all we're going to need. Clay-wise, we're going to be using, this is pink, and I have sort of a mint green. And both of these are just a flat pink and a flat green that have been combined with the glitter white. I have this glitter white that we'll be using for the body. And this is yellow mixed with glitter white. And these, by the way, are rolled out to a setting of a 4. And then you'll also be needing for the wings of the unicorn, I have used butterflies. Then these butterflies, they come like this. And I purchased these at Michael's craft store. And then tool-wise, I'm going to be using several different styluses. You will need blush or chalk for his cheeks and an applicator. Then I have two cutters here. I have a flower cutter and a leaf cutter. We'll be using both of those. You'll need some sort of brush because an applicator is not going to get inside the mouth. So you need to have a brush or something that you can use with the chalk and put inside the mouth. You're also going to need wire because anytime I'm doing a freestanding figurine, the clay wants to sink on me, and it helps that if I have a wire for it not to sink. And then I'm using 4mm beads for eyes, and of course a wire cutter. And then for the hair and tail, we're going to use this garlic press. So, now that we know everything that we need, let's get started. Okay, to start with, I always roll my hands in a little bit of clay because you can see how much that the dirt and stuff that's taken out of my hands. And we're going to start with the body. And I have the white glitter clay here, and I've already rolled it into a ball. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape it somewhat like a pear and then turn part of it up for the neck. And I usually try to match the one that I already have, and I know you guys don't have one to match to, so anyway. Then we're going to do the hooves, and I have a ball here rolled out. And what I do is I roll it on the table and start like with a snake, but it's a tapered snake. And then I cut it to what I think would be the right length. So I'm going to say there, and I cut two of these, and these will be his legs. And actually, the front one can be longer than the back one because of where his neck is. But I'm still going to make them a little close to the same. All right. Then you want to take your hooves and kind of shape them. Not, these aren't hooves, I'm sorry, legs. And place them on the body so that it stands up. And this one is a little too long, so I'm going to cut a little off of that. Okay. Now, this is where you want to put your wire in. And turn it over. Today my clay is not quite as soft, so I don't think I would have as much of a problem. But I'm going to push this in, and you want to make sure it goes into the body, and then cut it. And I don't know if you see that I'm off to one side here, and that is because of the hooves. And it's in the body and cut. And you can see how it has already kind of flattened out here. And that's just because the clay is a little too soft. All right, now I'll put the hooves on, and I have this dark green, and I'm just going to roll this into a snake and cut 4 round pieces for the hooves. And you want to make them close to the same size. So I'll start with that size. This one looks a little big. No, I guess it's fine. All right. Then we take them, and I'm going to have one on one side where my wire was, and then put the other on the other side. Well, I think they're a little too big, so I'm going to make them smaller. Okay, so I've made them smaller, and I'm going to just attach them onto the bottom here. And I just eyeball everything. I don't measure anything. People ask me, well, what size balls do you use? You know, I don't know. Because sure as I tell you, it's going to be too large or too small. Now I have the hooves on there, and I'm going to take my knife and just go right down the center, and that will define its legs, and the same in the back here. And then I'm going to take my needle tool and indent the front of the hooves to give them a little definition. All right, now we have his body, and I'm going to put a little piece of wire in his neck for his head to attach. That will help give it some stability. Okay, now I have another ball of clay here for his head, and I am rolling it into, I guess it's another sort of kind of like a pear shape. And I'm going to attach that to the neck. And now I'm going to put his eyes in. I'm going to use 4mm beads and my needle tool. Put them in and pull down. And then I'm going to draw 2 eyebrows with my needle. And before we do his mouth, we're going to put well, no we're not. I think we'll go ahead and do his mouth. To do his mouth, I'm just taking my knife and I'm going to cut kind of like a little hole in here, or a little line, and then pull down to sort of open it up. And then I'm going to shape it with my stylus. See, that brings it down and kind of makes a little lip. All right, and then use my stylus, smaller one, and do 2 little nostrils. Okay, all right, now we're ready to do his bridle, and for that I'm going to use the green again. And excuse me for the phone ringing. We forgot to take it off the hook. We normally take it off the hook when we're doing this. And I'm going to roll out some snakes again for his bridle. And take 2 pieces. They're going to go on either side of his face. And it doesn't matter how far back they go because his hair is going to cover it, or his mane, I should say. And then we'll take another piece and just wrap it around his snout. I don't guess the horse has a snout, but I don't know what you would call it. And then we're going to trim it. And then we'll put the little pink part right there. It's just 2 little balls of clay that we're going to make. And you just press it on where they intersect. And then I use a stylus again and put a little hole in it. Okay. Now we are going to do his ears. And I have 2 little pieces of, or 2 balls, and I roll these out into triangle shapes. Actually, yeah, that's right. And I take my corn dog stick, for lack of a better term, and put a little indentation in for the ears. And then we push these on. And I'm going to make his horn. And this is made from just white again. And I do a triangle, but kind of a long one. And I don't really make it too big because if it's too long, like, you know, like you see in photographs, it's going to break off. So I make it kind of short. But if you wanted to make it longer, you could. All right, and now I'm ready for his mane. And you can see that the clay is kind of trying to sink here. And it's because it is really hot and there's a lot of humidity in the air. All right, for his mane and his tail, we use the garlic press. And I had a previous color in here, so I usually just push some out, and you can see how that other color is coming out, and then I cut that off, and that really is just waste. You might be able to use it for something else, but anyway, you're not going to use it for this. Okay, so then you just proceed to press really hard and push this through. And then you're just going to take your knife and cut it off. And you just grab strands of it. Well, first I'll put his tail on. Just grab enough for his tail. Okay, you can kind of see how much I have there. And put it on the back. And then I push it up against the back here so that it doesn't just break off. That helps secure it. Now we're going to do the mane. And you can just kind of place it however you like. It can be as long or as short as you want. Now you don't have to have too much in the back here because I am going to be putting wings on him. I'm going to put a little more in here to give him a little bangs in the front. So we'll roll a little more out. So you can see that shorter. And I just take some and push it on the front. You don't want to cover up his eyes. Okay. All right. Now we will do his saddle. For that I've used some green, and I just roll out kind of an oval shape and just kind of press it flat. Now you could put this through your pasta machine if you wanted to, but I'm just doing it by hand. And you get it to the size you want, and then I turn up the back a little bit and then put it on. Now you could do a horse the same way, and if you were going to do a horse, you could put a little piece like a strap that goes underneath, and like it would be a saddle. All right, now we're ready to put the flowers on, and you can just put them wherever you want, however many you want, wherever you want. Just be creative. Now each flower, I take my needle tool and push in where the breaks are, and that gives it a little more definition. So I have used, let's see, about 6 of these flowers. So I'm going to finish cutting those out. Okay, I finished my flowers, and I've done a few leaves. I'm going to do a few more so you can see how I've done them. I just cut them out and then take my needle tool and make a line down the center. And then I pick them up and sort of shape them. Give them a little more leaf-like look. Okay, now I forgot to put the blush on his cheeks, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You should have put that on prior to putting on his bridle, but I forgot. So I'm going to put a little on here. And then I'm going to do his mouth. And I use that little brush and some chalk to put inside his mouth. If you don't, you don't have to, but if you don't, it's not going to show that well. And then I'm going to fix the shape a little bit here. Okay. Then we also need to put, well, you don't have to, but I put a little like stitching around on the saddle. Just gives it a little more definition. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you all know how to do it now. Okay, so then I'm going to put my flowers on, and you can put your flowers anywhere you like. Just however many, whatever colors you like, wherever you like. He doesn't want to stand up. Put one more over here on his mane, and then one on the back. Then I take my stylus and make an indentation in each one. Now we're ready for the leaves, and I just put the leaves kind of wherever the flowers are. And you want to make sure that you press these down pretty well, because if you don't, they're going to fall off after you've baked them. Now what I've done, and I'm not going to do it now, you have the option of either taking another color and putting it right in the center there, making a little ball and putting it in the center, or you can do what I did, which I don't know how well they show up, but you can put some rhinestones, buy these rhinestones at the craft store, Michael's or any craft store, and then just go ahead and press them in, and you do that prior to baking, and you do bake it with those already put inside. All right, now we are ready for his wings. Well, first of all, I'm going to turn his head because I want him looking at me, so I'm going to turn his head a little bit. And as I said before, I'm using a butterfly, and you just pull the wings out of the body. And there you have wings. And I'm going to make an indentation to stick them in. And depending on what angle you want to see it from depends on what side you use facing the outside. I'm going to have the glitter part facing out. So this already closed up. Okay, and he is done. Now all you need to do is put them in the oven and bake them for about 30 minutes at 275. Now if you want, you could add this flour, but I didn't think it was necessary. We always have a place to put a name on, but if you're just making the unicorn, you don't need to do that. So there you have it. He is finished. Now when he came out of the oven, I actually took some glue and added some glitter to make it a little more sparkly on his mane and his tail. So there you have it. Now somebody will win this in another tutorial. We always give away all of the things that we make in our tutorials. So he's finished. Okay, so that concludes another one of our tutorials. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're all able to make a unicorn. If you do, please feel free to post it on our Facebook page so everybody can see what you're doing. And please like, favorite, subscribe, and you do need to be subscribed to enter to win this unicorn when we're going to be giving it away. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye now.